All right, we're back. 2 days, long days, almost in the books. We've got the finals of Legacy left. Becky and I are here to walk you through the rest. We're going to see if DeLozier can end Rodney Bedell's 7-match winning streak against blue-red decks. The players are ready. We're going to go down to the table. Between games, we'll take a look at the deck lists, the sideboards, see what might change things. You've seen these decks already. We're not going to waste too much time on it. Here we go. Rodney Bedell on the play by virtue of being seed number 1.
Yeah, and I believe did actually play for that seed number 1 position in one of the rounds, and actually was one of the people who beat Isaac Bullwinkle in round number 8. So
yeah,
has played every single round today, took no draws, and has taken a lot of Izzet deck names.
Yeah, how does that even happen? Like, you're 6-0. You can double draw into a middle seed if you want to. Rodney is like, no, I'll play one, or maybe get paired down, wins, then can definitely draw, plays again and wins again. Has not lost a match all weekend. Maybe pushing his luck. He's 10-0 on the day, looking to finish the run. So we saw Reclaimer there, and we see Dragon Rage Channeler, Force of Will on Reclaimer, and here we go, Wasteland for Rodney.
Yeah, Dragon Rage Channeler, the thing sticking on the board after that Elvish Reclaimer is Force of Willed.
And we see, again, a player getting caught with Pyroblast opening hand, or maybe not opening hand, but in hand, waiting for a Brainstorm to be able to clean that up. Crop rotation on Flagstones. Nice. Just say 2 for 2. No card advantage here, but it does put a couple lands in play, including ramping one.
Mm-hmm. More thanks to the Flagstones than to the crop rotation, but...
Mm-hmm. All right. Hopefully everyone is enjoying being here with us. Dark Depths is the other land selected. 10 counters on that. Probably not getting removed one at a time for 3 mana, but you never know.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And Wasteland on that volcanic island, says Rodney.
Yeah, that was all right. Getting specific here.
DeLozier. I mean, fighting an uphill battle here against Rodney, who clearly has experience and success in this matchup, even if we're just looking at today. Here's a Thespian Stage. Here is an attempted Merit Lage, and Dawn is Petty Theft looming. There's a Wasteland, and that's not going to help at this point. Dark Depths combines with Thespian Stage, makes Merit Lage 2020 flying indestructible creature.
I feel like we watched like 2 other Selesnya Depths decks throughout the day, and none of them were being able to make a Merit Lage for one reason or another, and now we've seen Rodney do it like 3 rounds in a row.
We have. Now,
which
there
also maybe is why Rodney is undefeated against Izzet Delver decks.
That helps. That helps. But there is an answer in the deck. Dawn does have Petty Theft. Are we well, maybe we're looking to achieve Delirium and be able to chump to buy a turn here. Yeah, iteration post. If this is iteration post combat, that would work, and Dawn would buy a turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's like 2 lands and a 2 Force of Wills, and the Petty Theft revealed off of.
Okay. And we're Rodney and Bedell making no secret. These two must presumably know each other. Rodney Bedell beginning his sideboarding face up there. But yeah, so the Petty Theft was found. So maybe that wasn't post combat. Maybe there was another issue. Maybe Rodney was going to demonstrate the ability for Sejiri Step to make the Merit Lage unblockable, and Dawn would not be able to buy a turn. That was unclear. Regardless, Rodney Bedell up a game in about 3 turns.
Up a game, and similar to how we have talked about this matchup previously as well, considering that Rodney has had to play against Izzet decks for the last 5 rounds.
Let's even let's slow down a second. I mean, you were just saying we've had a couple other green-white depths today on camera. It hasn't quite gone like this. No. Maybe we should stop talking about the deck and start talking about the player. Rodney Bedell is 15 games in a row against blue-red.
And
That's a lot.
That's a lot, any way you slice it. And I don't know if it's probably just like a mixture of luck. Clearly has played this deck a lot. Clearly has likely played this deck a lot in paper if you're playing something like Minsc and Boo, Timeless Heroes, something that isn't available on MTGO. So somebody who likely has come prepared for this matchup in particular and just with this deck in general.
Yeah, and we see again the same. Well, I mean, it's the same deck. We see the extra endurance on the board. We see the blasts coming in. We see the chokes. I mean, these are power cards. I mean, okay, sure, Pyroblast is generally going to be 1-for-1, picking off Merit Lage and the other. I'm sorry, Merit Lage, Murktide Regent, and sometimes Expressive Iteration, sometimes Force of Will, justifying more than kind of a 1-for-1 at that point. But just using targeted removal to preserve the life total, and then we've seen it both with Elvish Reclaimer, just slow beatdown, endurance, slow beatdown 3-turn, and we've also seen just Merit Lage ending games. Let's go ahead and look at Don DeLozier's deck list.
And this
Delver
is the
deck.
part that is scaring me time and time again, is I feel like we always start on Rodney's deck list and we're like, cool, there's like these 6 sideboard cards that are really good in this matchup and are going to, like Rodney, we can see, we have a little preview that lets us see. And I do believe that Rodney almost did all of that sideboarding face up as well.
Yeah.
So I also, like, there's a part of me that, like, there has to just be this Izzet hive mind. All these people who've now fallen to Rodney who are like, okay, what could Dodd do to finally end Rodney's streak? What has Rodney brought in? What can you anticipate talking about that sort of thing? And unfortunately, it just seems like these Izzet decks don't have as many tools to bring in this matchup.
Yeah, and it's even worse. Bernal had 2 submerges. Don only has 1. Maybe Price of Progress can catch Rodney for a bunch of damage all at once to put a game out of reach. But I mean, there's not a volume of cards to be gained. Submerge is great, but we're talking about quality cards, not quantity out of the board, whereas Rodney has both. Don will be on the play in game number 2.
Sorry.
All right. So we'll look at opening hands here. We'll see. Dawn looks to be keeping. She is satisfied. Rodney, or is this going to be a keeper? I mean, this Selesnya deck doesn't seem to mulligan a whole lot, and honestly, neither of these decks is going to mulligan a ton. They don't have extreme requirements to keep. And here, Volcanic, and we're underway.
And it looks like I feel like also Rodney just like has the most consistent starts of being able to get like a Mox Diamond and a land in play, and just is playing. It has the acceleration almost every single time.
Yeah, Mox Diamond's not even a card I personally care for all that much, playing with myself. But here it is looked. I mean, it looks good a lot of times when you see other people play it. And here we go, Mox Diamond allowing Red Blast. It's especially nice when you're splashing another color. And this Brainstorm is foiled. Dawn does have a second land.
I was looking for the card foil, and then looked at the Brainstorm and was like, it's not shiny.
No,
and then was confused. I see what you mean, though. I just for a moment my brain was like, none of those things are. Oh,
it's been a long weekend. We'll forgive each other.
Yeah, especially for you. I'll certainly. You got a lot of wiggle room here, and Rodney, as I say that Rodney has been playing super fast, is now playing extremely reactionary.
Yeah, so 2 Brainstorms down, but this game, the Wasteland makes it into play before any sort of Thespian Stage Dark Depths are threatening. However, I feel like we've seen the Dark Depths combo de-emphasized in sideboard games by Rodney. It is harder to protect. There is Submerge running around, which is always just a free option to remove it. So this is where Endurance, Elvish Reclaimer, Neither Reliquary, that's their time to shine. And I mean, if a game was won by choke, that wouldn't be the most unusual thing either, ever.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of a. It would be a like sad way for the day to end, but I mean, not for Rodney, but from a like wanting an exciting game on coverage perspective, you know.
All right, here is an endurance. So that may shuffle the brainstorms back in the deck, although this may be a time when Rodney chooses not to. Instead, it's just going to get forced. So he's not even going to get the option. Don giving up an extra card in order to keep the board clean. And yeah, so this Mox Diamond has allowed Rodney to play around this Daze. So that kind of makes up for the card disadvantage just on its own.
I mean, that and like there's 2 Wastelands in play, and having the Mox Diamond as a way to just continue to generate mana and not worry about it being destroyed there has been really great as well.
To the dome.
Okay. Not messing around.
Yeah, this has got to be for a Murktide, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that at least seems like something I feel safe assuming.
Mhm.
As Don DeLozier drops Rodney to 16. Oh, I was wondering what was happening here. We're seeing a response to the fetch land with crop rotation.
Oh.
There is a Murktide in hand. So yeah, Don's Bolt does make sense when you realize she is looking to maximize the Murktide, make it as big as possible. Also, Lightning Bolt, once there's 3 land in the graveyard, Lightning Bolt doesn't actually kill that many of Rodney's creatures anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be...
for Bog.
Yeah.
I every time I've been like, why are they getting rid of their graveyard? It's because verbally they've said, I'm getting Bojuka Bog. Say goodbye to your graveyard.
Well, this is a setback.
I wanted to make there was another joke I wanted to make, and I didn't feel like it was appropriate for stream, but that one I'm gonna go ahead and do.
All right, Don DeLozier's graveyard wiped clean. Chances of chances of breaking Rodney Bedell's winning streak also falling apart.
They're just that percentage is going down, down, down.
Third Wasteland, so okay. I mean, there's a Reclaimer. That's a 3/4. Rodney shows off, indicates a 3 land in the graveyard. I think we're approaching the end here.
Rodney may have single-handedly convinced me to play this deck.
I mean, this has been an impressive show. I mean, we've seen him on camera crushing. Obviously, he's been crushing off camera also.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, because we have the player tournament history here. Rodney Bedell last lost a game in round 3.
That's the only game that was lost today.
No, well, he lost a game in the first 3 rounds of the day.
Okay.
I guess he was just warming up. Since then, round 4 and onward, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches, including this one, not lost the game.
Jeez.
And yeah, Choke is taking down 1 Volcanic Island. I've never seen it indicated by that, but I like it. Makes it virtually impossible for the blue player to forget that they're not allowed to untap, because that is something that happens every once in a while.
Yeah. No. I mean, this is the reason that we've got this change to the name Selesnya Reclaimer. The Reclaimers, once you've got people locked out of the game in this sort of fashion, just go ahead, get those Reclaimers on board. They are certainly pretty cheap and strong creatures to be committing to this board and are able to pack a little bit of a punch here.
Question from the chat. Does he play Minsc and Boo? Yes, he does. Yes. We haven't seen it yet, but it is in there.
Yeah, it is one main, one side, but we've been informed that Rodney boards the main board one out against Izzet Delver. And considering that the last 5 rounds Rodney has had to play against Izzet Delver, we have not seen it.
Yeah, it makes sense though. This isn't the matchup it's intended for, but it would be nice to see it. Although I think Rodney is going to be completely satisfied with his absolutely dominant display here. Don DeLozier, is there a chance? I don't want to write off her chances completely, but I don't think it's, too negative to say
Well,
that,
we need to see.
this looks rough.
Yeah, we need to see petty theft into a way to counter the choke when it comes back down, and also just somehow get back into this game through the Elvish Reclaimers.
Yeah, I mean, this is just so bad. These two decks line up in a way that favors Rodney to an almost insane degree. At least that's the way it appears today, and probably consistently. I mean, that's part of the appeal of playing the deck, I'm sure. And DeLozier put on an impressive display, made it all the way to the finals of this event. Congratulations to her. But I think her run ends here.
I mean, it's hard. You're playing this deck that is extremely popular and extremely good. Again, was 20% of our meta, and of the top 20 people who made it into the final round of the tournament, half of those decks were Izzet Delver. So correct deck choice for sure. Rodney just so happened to be like, what do I think is going to be the most insane deck against Izzet Delver, because that's what I'm expecting, and how can I situate this deck to be in a great place? And just made the right one, and has also played it a lot, has mastery here, and is doing obviously phenomenal. Again, we've said it so many times, undefeated against Izzet Delver on the day, has very few losses at all.
Yeah, and do you want to know? So DeLozier only lost once. Do you know who she lost to in the Swiss? I'll give you one guess.
Is it Rodney?
Yes.
Oh no! So it's a rematch too.
Yep.
Oh.
There is petty theft. There is the answer to the choke, I suppose, but that is really not going to do it. And DeLozier is out of here. And Rodney Bedell completes the sweep of the blue-red players this weekend. DeLozier only lost to one opponent. It was just happening Rodney Bedell twice. Impressive tournament for her. I hope she's very satisfied with second place finish, but nobody was stopping Rodney Bedell today.